Hello everyone, my name is Alvineni Santi Shamsuddin and today I'll be presenting on the topic Is it morally acceptable to buy and sell pollution rights? Environmental pollution has become one of the most pressing global issues today. To control emissions, governments have introduced a system known as pollution right trading or carbon trading. Under this system, companies are given or can purchase the right to emit a certain amount of pollutant. But this raises an ethical question. Is it morally right to allow the buying and selling of pollution rights, essentially treating the environment as a marketplace commodity? Now, what are pollution rights? Pollution rights, often referred to as emissions permits or carbon credits, are part of a market-based environmental policy. This system is widely known as cap and trade. The government sets a cap on total emissions. Companies that emit less can sell the unused allowances to those who emit more. The idea is to provide economic incentives for reducing pollution efficiently. A good example is the European Union emissions trading system and Malaysia's voluntary carbon market, which was launched by Bursa Malaysia in 2022 to encourage sustainable business practices. Moral and ethical perspective. Now, let's look at both sides of the argument, the moral and ethical perspectives on buying and selling pollution rights. First, arguments in favor of why some people believe it is morally acceptable. First, it encourages responsibility. When companies have to pay for pollution, they are more motivated to reduce their emissions. If they manage to emit less, they can even sell the extra pollution credits for profit. So, the system actually rewards good environmental behavior. Second, it promotes economic efficiency. Market-based solutions like carbon trading help reduce pollution in the most cost-effective way. Instead of forcing every company to cut emissions by the same amount, it allows reductions to happen where it's cheapest and most efficient. It supports innovation. To save costs and remain competitive, many firms invest in cleaner and more efficient technologies, so pollution trading indirectly drives technological progress. Okay, next, real-world success. For example, in the United States, the acid rain program launched in 1990 successfully reduced sulfur dioxide emissions by more than 40% using a trading system. This shows that pollution trading can really work when properly managed. Now, let's look at the arguments against or why some people say it's not morally acceptable. It commodifies the environment. When pollution rights can be bought and sold, it's like turning clean air into a product. Something that belongs to everyone becomes a business transaction. This can be seen as the morally wrong because the environment is a shared responsibility, not a market item. Second, it gives unfair advantage. Wealthy companies can simply buy more pollution permits, while smaller or poorer companies struggle to compete. This creates inequality in the business world and even in environmental responsibility. Okay, next, there's a moral hazard. Some firms might think, as long as I can afford to pay, it's okay to pollute. This weakens the moral obligation to genuinely care for the planet. Last but not least, ethical inequality. Even when emissions are legally traded, nearby communities, often low-income ones, still suffer from air pollution and health problems. So, it's legal on paper but still unfair in reality. Malaysia's context. Malaysia has committed to achieving net zero greenhouse gas emission by 2050 through the National Energy Transition Roadmap and the 12th Malaysia Plan. The government is encouraging renewable energy, green investment and carbon markets. However, moral debates still arise. Should companies be allowed to pay for the right to pollute, even when the ultimate goal is sustainability? In Malaysia's case, Pollution rights trading may be acceptable only if it is combined with strict monitoring, transparency, and reinvestment of revenue into green initiatives such as solar energy and reforestation. To conclude, buying and selling pollution rights can be morally acceptable only under strict ethical and environmental conditions, when it truly leads to low emissions, fair participation, and greater environmental responsibility. If the system becomes a way for corporations to buy forgiveness for harming the planet, then it is morally wrong. But if it encourages innovation, responsibility, and a cleaner future, then it can be justified. That's all from me. Bye!